Tyler, how are we doing today, sir?
It's another beautiful day, man.
Oh, fantastic.
How about you, Will?
The weather is fantastic. it just,
It's cold as fuck in the morning, though, man. That first thing in the morning, it really wakes me up. I walk out and I'm just like,
this.
okay.
This is the short time where I ride around with the windows down.
Oh,
definitely.
definitely.
And just embrace.
Definitely. Windows open in the house.
Embrace the cold air.
Definitely.
But I got to tell you, this is also the saddest time for me, is because at the end of the month, you shave your wonderful mustache off. Why?
Well, not at the end of the month exactly. It's more my dad's birthday, which is December 4th.
December 4th.
So it's a little after the end of the month.
So December 4th, you just shave your mustache.
Yeah, kind of the end of the day, December 4th.
You know that breaks my heart, right? That breaks my heart because, you with the mustache, you deserve to be, on that list, that greatest list of mustaches.
I appreciate that.
You know what I mean?
I appreciate that.
You deserve to be up there with, the people Ron Burgundy from Anchorman.
I feel like Luigi from the Mario Brothers, to be
that
honest with
too.
you. I get a lot of mixed reviews. It's 50-50. A lot of people, strong stash, dude, love it.
Right.
Wow, that's
right.
one for the, and it
Yeah.
starts that, and then there's the other half that's kind of could you get rid of that thing,
Now
please?
that other half, is that just your girlfriend?
No, actually, she's quite supportive of it. I told her, I was like, mustache season's coming to an end, and she's like, you can keep it if you want to. And I'm like,
and you don't want to?
No.
And it'd be like you shaving your mustache would be like if Steve Harvey got rid of his mustache. It just does not look right. It doesn't make sense. It breaks my heart.
Mugly without the mustache?
I wouldn't go that far, but it just wouldn't look right. I mean, you're still gonna be handsome, but
It's annoying, man. You get food stuck in it. You got to groom it. You got to trim it. You got to do it. It's extra. It's extra that I don't want to deal with. There are times where I've slept on one side and I wake up in the morning and it looks like one of those Acme cigars just blew up in my mouth. I'm just poof, like Dr. Robotnik, and I'm like, that's great. Look at this bird's nest under my nose.
Yeah. No, I will tell you, at least, especially for me, because I got a little bit more than a mustache.
Right.
There's a lot of grooming and detailing that, and not just that, but now there's a bunch of products. There's beard oil and
beard wash.
There's a whole thing, and it gets exhausting. So, what do you have any famous mustache people that you can think of off the top of your head?
I actually compiled a little bit of a list.
You do.
Oh yeah.
You have a list.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I love your list.
You gotta love famous mustaches.
Give me the list. What you got?
Well, we got a few here. Let's start off with Freddie Mercury, of course.
Freddie Mercury.
The lead singer of Queen.
Yeah. Okay.
Hell yeah.
So
man.
I'm vague. Did he have a thin or a thick one?
A thick mustache.
A thick one.
And then when they first started, he was clean shaven.
Okay.
And then they were as they, ramped up and picked up some speed and got a lot of fans.
Yeah.
The mustache became iconic. You couldn't take it away, and it was beautiful.
I've heard his music, but I
know it's not your thing.
Just never,
I love Queen. Queen's a great group.
Well, I mean, you do act like a queen sometimes, but I just never really saw him videos of him or anything like that. Not as much to really get a good grasp of what he looked like.
Okay.
But that's just I don't
I know that's not your cup of tea, but
it's not my cup of tea.
I mean, Freddie Mercury makes the list. Speaking of which, other music that you wouldn't really be into is John Oates from Hall & Oates, with Daryl Hall and John Oates. Was it the "Are you? You're making my dreams come true"?
Yeah. No.
No, you don't know that music? Come on, man. I mean, you won't catch me jamming out to it, but I appreciate me some Hall & Oates.
I do know the music, but when you sing, was it Johnny and Oates? Johnny and Oates. All I keep thinking is Honey Bunches of Oats,
it's like
cereal.
A mouthful of joy.
That's really all I can think of, and
it's a good cereal.
Yeah, it's just really
doesn't top the mini wheats, but good cereal.
I have a weird taste in music, and I understand that. It's
you like the windows rattling and all that shit. I want to hear everything,
I like a nice back massage while I'm driving.
Yeah,
that's really what I.
That
go
really
for.
is how
That's
it feels
really
too.
What I
being
go
in that
for.
car. Hulk Hogan.
Okay, yeah,
You know,
that's
the
a good
horseshoe
one.
mustache.
That's a good
You know,
one.
it's not like a beard. It doesn't connect right here. It's just like a perfect square. It's like you're playing polo and you're just trying to knock it through.
And a funny fact about Hulk Hogan, when he did the Hollywood Hogan era with the black and white, he still had
Oh
the
yeah,
mustache,
and then he had
but
the
he dyed
yes.
his fuzz.
Okay, it was dye. I wasn't sure if he dyed the mustache or whatever, because I'm like, he's blonde, so that makes sense, kind of thing.
Right, so because the mustache,
yeah, the 5 o'clock shadow
hair,
going on.
right? But
yeah.
the 5 o'clock shadow, he dyed it to make it look like that, like to make it look dark.
Right on, brother. We got Geraldo Rivera makes the list. Crazy big mustache.
Yeah,
it's almost like you could wear it as a bow tie.
Now,
it's just
does he curl it at the end?
Yeah, a little bit.
Was he the one that curls
it's
it at
really
the end?
thick.
Yeah.
And then it's not curly Q,
Yeah.
but it comes to a point.
Yeah.
Almost
like,
you know, an evil cartoon villain.
It looks very uncapped too.
Yeah,
Like
it's pretty wild. It is wild.
It's wild.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Got Nick Offerman as Ron Swanson from Parks and Rec.
Oh, that's a good. Okay.
Phenomenal
that's a
mustache.
Good one. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
It's filled out. It looks very much like the next guy that makes this list, Tom Selleck.
Okay.
Who reminds me a lot of my dad. Just throw a Hawaiian shirt on him. You gotta take his glasses off though. But throw a Hawaiian shirt on him.
Now what about this isn't real life, but I mean, one with a great stash is what's his name? Sickety Sam? Sickety Sam? Oh, Sickety Sam? Am I botching his name wrong?
Yosemite Sam.
Yosemite Sam. Okay.
What
yeah.
incarnation, man?
Exactly.
Come on now.
I can't read.
Yosemite Sam?
I don't have
the Monopoly Man?
The Monopoly
guy.
Man's got
and he's got a monocle.
That's a very... Man, that needs to come back.
What, Monopoly?
Yeah. No, not Monopoly. The monocle.
The monocle?
Yeah.
You want to rock a monocle? You want to...
I mean, I don't know if I can
put a beer cap
but...
in your eye and hold it there for... You'll get sick of it. Salvador Dali. Crazy mustache. Really thin. Pointed straight up.
I don't know who that is.
Well, he was an artist. You know, the melting clocks? The Dali Museum in St. Pete. I mean, yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Now, what about...
Very iconic mustache.
What about Dr. Phil?
You could... He doesn't make my list, but he does have a good stash.
Well, not just that. I feel like if you're bald, you gotta have some sort of facial hair. I feel like if you just go bald and no facial hair, there's something wrong with you.
Something wrong with Bruce Willis then.
Yes.
Oh God.
Just doesn't look right.
Oh no.
He looks good with the shadow or the peach fuzz. Like in the Expendables, he had a little 5 o'clock shadow. He looked sharp. But
otherwise you're Mr. Clean.
Yeah. It's just not looking right. It's just not looking right. Yeah. What about I'll go old school. Okay. Albert Einstein.
How
about that?
He had too much on his mind to really think about, trimming and whatever. He did have a wild mustache. Yeah. That is true. He had wild hair too. But he managed to shave here, but he was like, you know what? It's because I like to do this.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's thinking too much.
Yeah, the mustache can stay.
Sometimes when I'm driving, I do play with it is a thing. Yeah. It is. You just kind of play with it. Maybe not twirling it. It's not that,
maybe not twirling it, but it's the same kind of behavior is all I'm getting at. That's the male version of twirling your hair.
Now, speaking of mustaches, we have to say the iconic mustache of all time, and that's the Hitler stash.
I was going to say Chaplin.
You could say Chaplin, but...
Chaplin was in the 20s. That's why no one does that stash anymore.
Not because of
Hitler. The toothbrush. Well, no, because of Hitler. That's why Chaplin they made that film The Great Dictator, which, of course, I'm a weird movie buff, and, I'm sure you haven't heard or seen about it. But he kind of imitates Hitler and gives a beautiful speech in that movie.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, just... Google it, YouTube it, The Great Dictator, Charlie Chaplin. Put it on your list.
So...
I got to throw in Wilford Brimley, though.
Who?
Exactly. You're about to remember. I know him from The Thing, the John Carpenter version of The Thing, and he was the guy in the diabetes commercials. I'm Wilford Brimley and I have diabetes.
So I remember the voice.
Yeah.
but I can't put a face.
You can't put a face to it. I mean, he was a heavy set guy, you know, but big white mustache, like walrus style.
Yeah.
The way mine's ending up to going, the American walrus.
Flavor saver.
Yes, pretty much. Oh, dude, it's you know what? That's the one thing I do like about a mask is if Lexi and I have been kind of rolling around with each other, and then I gotta go somewhere to work that makes me wear a mask, and then I put it on, and I just didn't wash my face. I'm like,
yeah.
It's like she's here with me.
Especially when you go down on her in the morning, and then you can just really embrace that scent. Now I will tell you this: sometimes on the opposite spectrum, when you don't keep your mustache trim and you got the hairs that's going in your mouth.
Oh yeah.
When I'm eating food,
I'm
fucking ripping part of my beard.
Ooh.
Not my beard, but my mustache.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that's happened to me.
Dude. No, that's never happened to me.
I'm just eating, and because my hair is just all over the place, if I don't keep it kept up, and then I'm just
Well, then that explains why some of those wilder, like an Albert Einstein or something, like they're going outwards.
Yeah.
And Rivera, where it's like thick, but he's got it kind of away from his lip.
Yeah, they probably put hair gel or something in there to kind of spike up their mustache so it's away from it.
It looks like an overused broom sometimes.
So let me ask you this. So this is the saddest point. This is the saddest time when you're shaving the mustache.
I still have great mustaches to talk about. Oh. You trying to get me off topic?
Sorry. Who else do you have, bud?
Bro!
How many people did you write down? Like, who else matters?
Who else matters?
Yeah, who else matters?
Burt Reynolds. Burt fucking Reynolds,
that's
bro. How you cannot throw Burt Reynolds in there? Burt Reynolds.
That's a good one.
Sam Elliott from Tombstone.
Never
narrated The Big Lebowski.
Never saw it.
The Dude Abides. He was on The Ranch.
Never saw
recently. I mean, I didn't see that either.
Never saw it.
God, iconic mustache and voice.
Yeah.
Who knows which came first? Friedrich Nietzsche.
Who?
Can't be the Ubermensch, another 19th century philosopher.
Well, you're naming people.
You can't be the Ubermensch without an Uber stash.
You're
okay.
naming people who I don't even know.
That's
and
fine.
Look
Half
them
of
up.
them you know, half of them you don't know. You might learn something. Hey. You got Raleigh Fingers that played for the Oakland Athletics. He did the curly Q stash. They started Mustache Day.
Yeah.
In Oakland with the Oakland A's at the baseball park.
Yeah. And you know who you forgot to say? MLK. Martin Luther King.
It's on the list.
Why is he last?
MLK. It's
Why is he
not.
last?
It's not. There's actually.
Why is he last?
He's not last.
He's last on that row. You got. Just saying. He seems pretty important. More important than whatever the hell you just said.
You're
that
such
last
a troll,
guy.
man.
That last guy you
such
said.
a troll.
I'm just saying, bud.
Such a troll. Bro.
He's on top of my list. I'm just saying.
Yeah, your list. It's.
Yeah.
That
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Well. Then what about Stanley from The Office?
Yeah, but that's more of like in that Steve Harvey.
What? There you go, Steve Harvey. Yeah.
That you know then that Steve Harvey
right.
realm.
But they even did a whole opening to an episode where they were all discussing in the office whether or not Stanley had a mustache or not.
Oh yeah.
And no one could remember. And I did find myself, like, even though I've been binge watching, I've been immersed in this show. I'm like. I think he's got a. I don't remember.
The Office.
He does.
Office is a great show.
Mustache.
Great show. The Office is.
Frida Kahlo. A woman makes the list. She was a Spanish painter.
Again.
Greatest unibrow of all time, though.
Again, people I don't know.
You look up a picture.
I'm just,
Frida Kahlo. You'll look up a picture.
I can't even fucking spell that first name. Like
Frida.
Frida.
With a D.
Oh God, what is this coming to? Now, how do you like Aaron Rodgers' mustache? Has he got a good stash going?
He does do a good stash. Yeah. He does do a good stash. He's doing the whole long hair and he's got beard thing going on.
Now, do you think that's too much?
He's trying to pull a Johnny Damon and being Captain Caveman. Like I'm like, you know what, dude? Just fucking. How old is he?
I don't know. 30-something. 37, 38.
I mean, dude, just...
So that is too much. That would be too much
I think
for
he's
you.
being
Long
too much.
hair with, like, big long facial hair.
Guys can pull it off, and guys can look at like Jason Momoa or something like that with the whole beard and the hair and everything like that. But that's also, part of his deal being Aquaman and all that business. With Aaron Rodgers, and maybe it's just because Aaron Rodgers I don't like Aaron Rodgers the person.
Right.
He's fucking annoying me. Like
he's a douchebag.
He's just he's over the top of that. Phenomenal quarterback.
Right.
Hall of Fame status. I'm not questioning any of that ability and talent. But he's just trying to become this socialite. That's
social warrior.
For himself.
It's all about
for himself.
It's all about him.
Yeah. And that kind of bleeds through into a lot of different facets of his life.
You never know. He might have his own health food line coming out, just like other people. Like Tom Brady.
You done messed up, AA Ron.
Ron. I'm just saying he might get. Anybody else on that list, sir?
Just good? Me, baby.
Just you?
The number one stash. Just kidding.
I mean,
I'll give that to my dad.
In my eyes, you have the number one stash, and I don't want you to shave
used
it.
Man.
I really don't. So
and you guys probably we've done every episode with a mustache. Like this is going to be a weird change.
So
it's fine. It's going to be okay.
So is this a tradition for you?
Yeah.
That you always shave your mustache. Is it on December 4th or the day after?
It really depends on how my day went and what kind of condition I'm in.
Like, do you have a time limit? Like, let's just say December 7th rolls around, and like, are you gonna get like spanked, penalized, anything like that?
No.
Okay.
No, it doesn't really matter.
All right.
I just usually am just kind of it's been a minute, and now I'm sort of like, all right.
So why do you pick that day? Like, what's so special about December 4th?
Well, like, my dad's always had a mustache my entire life. Yeah. I would not recognize the man without one.
Right.
Like, I've seen, high school graduation photos, even a college photo where he didn't have one and he had some pretty big hair going on. But if he were to do that tomorrow, I'd be like, it would be, I don't know, I'd have a heart attack. I don't know what would happen, what my reaction would be.
Just like I'm going to have a heart attack when you shave yours off.
Yeah, but more often than not, I am clean shaven than having facial hair, so I feel like it's just kind of returning back to normalcy for me. Now, with him, he's always had it.
Right.
He's always kept it trim.
Yeah.
He's always done his thing. And December 4th is his birthday, and my job a while back only allowed mustaches or you needed to be clean shaven. Mm-hmm. And I thought it would be a kick if we try to get some of the guys together and grow mustaches together. Which sounds like fun, but it's awkward as shit. Because about a week and a half, 2 weeks into it, it's, it's just this growing.
Right.
So you look like a pedo for a couple of weeks, and then it starts to fill in. And some guys it doesn't really fill in, but they tried anyway, and I'll give them a round of applause for that. But
it's also no shave November, so
right.
It's just a thing that everybody, not everybody, but most guys who can grow facial hair does.
Right. Which is also fun, and it makes it a season for me. So like mid-October. Mm-hmm. Now, of course, that we can, the rules and policies have changed on facial hair, at work. So now everybody can do it. So for the first, or the last, I should say, 2 weeks of October, I'll grow everything. But then 1st of November, right to the mustache. And then you ride the stash through November till my dad's birthday.
So you're doing it opposite. You're shaving right on November instead of growing your hair out in November. It's no shave November.
I've already had the base grown, but I grow it with everything, so I don't have to go through the awkward pedo stash phase that I was just talking about. When everything's kind of there together, it makes a little more sense. But when you just got this growing, you're just kind of like...
Yeah.
Like a prepubescent, attempt at a mustache. What are you doing?
Right.
And then, because it takes some time. It's going to look like crap for a minute. And then when it fills in, you get the end result. And then everybody's like, whoa, mustache.
Yeah. Yeah. So December 4th, hopefully, maybe 5th, 6th, the 3rd, I don't know. Whatever day you feel like it. You shave the stash. You say
the 4th.
The 4th.
4th or the morning of the 5th.
What day did I say? The 4th?
You said like 8
6th,
different
5th?
days.
I don't know, because it's like whenever you feel like it. But
it really.
I feel like there's a deeper meaning behind it, and I just don't know why. Like, is there a deeper meaning to? Because wouldn't you just want to keep the stash like in honor of your dad rocks the stash all year round? Like you don't want to rock the stash too?
No, it's not really that comfortable for me.
No.
No, not really. I mean, it does, every now and then poke my bottom lip, you kind of.
Oh.
Whatever, man. I'd rather be clean.
You poor baby.
I'd rather be clean.
You poor baby.
I feel bad when I kiss Lexi, or I'm all like, with this mustache.
She likes it.
She probably likes it,
She
probably likes it on the basement level, but
they all like it. So another, there's no shave November. That's what I've always heard. But there's another term that's been coming up recently that I have no clue what the fuck it is. And
it has evolved my mustache season.
Okay, it's called Movember.
Right.
Movember. What the hell is Movember?
It started in 2003. Mo being, it's an Australian American nickname for mustache.
Okay.
So it's more Australian, obviously, because I feel like the majority of the time in America we say stash. Like if you're gonna shorten it a little bit. I guess with Australians they say Mo.
Right. Just Mo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mo. So November, Movember, combining it to do the mustache, basically to raise awareness for prostate cancer, testicular cancer, men's mental health, and suicide prevention.
Okay.
Ultimately. Like there's a meaning behind the mustache. It's not just haha sort of thing. My dad always told me that, when I was doing that for fun, sort of for him kind of thing, and I didn't really know about Movember till maybe like 5 or 6 years ago that was a thing. Mm-hmm. It made the timing all too perfect, really, for me to have a somewhat of a mustache season, if you want to call it that. And it's a good conversation starter, so it gets people talking. I walk into a place and they're just like, "Oh, like, hey, like, there's a mustache right there." I've had people take pictures of me at a bar, just because I have a mustache, and it's not something that you'd usually see. I mean, on a younger guy, it's a dad look. Like I said, my dad in high school, college, like never really rocking the stash. He's a dad. He's in his mid-60s, so it's a dad look. They make it just seem so naturally looking that they would look like my reaction would be if he shaved it, just a stranger.
Okay. I mean, I will say that, with this generation now, not just mustaches, but even beards. Like
beards is the big thing. Beards is the big thing.
Yeah, but it's you gotta have the mustache to connect with the beard.
They're all growing beards.
I'm just saying.
They're all growing beards.
It's a whole thing. So, okay. So Movember is mostly a movement that was from Australia.
Well, the term Mo.
Okay, but it's so... Right. Okay.
It's not an Australian movement.
Okay, so it's not just a movement in general about cancer,
like
prostate.
A global, yeah.
So it's just specifically prostate and testicular cancer. That's a big word for me to say. Wow,
You say ball cancer. That's cool.
Nut cancer, ball cancer, whatever. So it's just specifically for those two cancers.
Right, because all the other cancers, I mean, aside from, the specifics with women, like ovarian cancer and stuff like that, like men can get breast cancer too, kind of a thing. Not as common, I will say, but, those kinds of things do happen, but this is very specific to them, so that's why those are highlighted specifically, not, all the others that obviously are
now
still running rampant.
Now let me ask you this. I'm going to get a little personal with you, because I don't know. But has anybody in your family had cancer?
I'm sure there's, I think about that all the time. Like, if I got hit by a bus, like, yes, I died by the bus. But then, they're doing the autopsy and everything like that, and then they cut me open, like, wow, this guy was riddled with cancer. You know what I mean? Cancer didn't kill me, and who knows how many people probably did have it. The only two that I am aware of were my grandfather on my mother's side had stage 4 colon cancer. So they had to resection the bowel. It spread to the liver. They used a form of technology called CyberKnife. All I could think of was think of like a butter knife, but it's a lightsaber. Like that kind of went through my head. It seemed kind of cool, but it was spooky at the same time. And my dad got early detection for prostate cancer.
Okay.
Prostate cancer. What they did was it's a blood test, and it picks up a specific antigen level. And when those levels aren't where they should be, and there's way more of them, that lets the doctor know that there's something we need to look at here. And that's kind of what happened. So getting a regular blood test done when you go see your doctor is a good form. And it might seem like nothing. And it might seem like they're hounding you for it. Sometimes the doctors will ask for it. Be like, you know what, I want to get some blood work done. Can you go to Quest Diagnostics and just blah, 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 get the blood work done. And you're thinking he's giving you an extra chore. I know, that's how it feels. You're getting an extra chore. I got to go do this. And I got to,
listen, I fucking hate Quest.
Well,
I hate Quest. Listen, I got to, hold on. I got a quick story with Quest. Like, no lie. I had to get, this was a couple years ago. I had to get a blood test done, and they were doing like fucking couple vials, right?
Okay.
And like apparently, like I just fucking passed out. Like,
I pass out every time.
I just like passed out, and like I woke up, and I'm like, and then she's like, "Oh man, this is what she said to me. Oh man, almost lost you there." I'm like, "What do you mean?" She goes, "Well, if I didn't have
the smelling salts and the fanning.
No, they put a bar, like a wooden." Like bar in front of you so you don't fall off the chair.
Do they also take a picture of you when you're coming down on the ride?
No, she didn't do that, but she was like, "Oh man, we almost lost you."
I survived Quest Diagnostics t-shirt.
Yeah, so then I was like messed up, and then she had to put me in a room, and then I just sat in a recliner for 10 minutes, and then they're like, and then I'm just like, I gotta get out of here. Like, and then
you're gonna try and walk now that I passed out.
Dude, I came out
like a baby giraffe, just.
Dude, I felt like just like Bill Cosby just put something in my drink and like.
Happens. And you know that happens to me every time they draw blood, and it's not because I'm squeamish. It's not because I don't like needles. It's not because I'm looking at the blood coming out. Apparently, either your heart overcompensates for the fact that blood is being drawn, so it pumps harder to get the oxygen to reach your brain and everywhere else that it needs to go. But mine just
that's
nothing's happening.
Right.
So your blood pressure just plummets.
Right.
And I tell them halfway through, because now I've learned the countless times that it's happened. I'm like, you need to invert the chair. They're like, what's that? I'm like, you need to invert the chair. I'm about to just topple over. And next thing I know, I got smelling salts and they're fanning me. They're getting me water, apple juice.
The good thing I will say about that is it gives me an excuse to eat food, like you know,
right.
You know,
build
carb,
that back.
Carb up. But I think also because sometimes you know a lot of times they tell you, oh, gotta do fasting, you know, and I'm like, sometimes I'm not saying all,
yeah,
but at least when I went to Quest, which I never will go there again. Because, you know, it wasn't the first time. The last 2 times I went there, I passed the hell out. Like, you know.
I'm just saying, that's not uncommon. I get that you don't like it, but with this early detection, it could potentially save your life.
Yeah, whatever.
When it gets to a certain point. I will say that they say once you hit 45, 50, those blood tests need to kind of become regular, because that's when you can really get the early detection. It's not affecting you now. I get that. It's just something to think about. And if there are people that are of that age, or you know somebody, that's fine too. I mean, it's just a little bit of advice. And you know what? That's the other part of Movember, is to get guys talking about it, which goes right back into my dad saying that it's a good conversation starter, because then you can get people talking. I talked to my mom about that because she asked me the same thing. What the Movember thing? And I started, talking about it to her, and I was like, guys can be stubborn. I know we like to say that, women never, with the mixed signals and everything like that, they don't tell us kind of thing. Like, what's wrong, babe? Oh, nothing, I'm fine. Women, we do the same fucking thing. And a lot of it, at least women will panic about their health if they think something is wrong. I would say generally, most women that I've known, they'll go right in. Guys, however, we're just kind of like, it's like driving a car with like one tire that's just falling off. You're like, I could probably make it. Like, there's probably something wrong, but you know what? I'm going to get there anyway. So, and she's like, you know what? You're right. Yeah, that's stubbornness.
So,
your dad to go in there.
So with your dad, was that just like a random checkup?
Mm-hmm.
So he wasn't purposely checking to see if he. It wasn't like that.
It wasn't
test.
like I thought or I noticed something or anything like that.
Okay,
No
so
signs and
that's
symptoms.
okay. So that's
Very
good.
small percentage of the antigen was found, but it was there, like an elevated level.
Okay.
Very small percentage of elevation in that, and so that was their tip. It tipped them off to being like, look, we need to look at this, and then the diagnosis came. It's like, that's what it is, but we got it so early that you're gonna be fine.
Oh,
It's still scary.
But,
it was still weird to see him in that hospital chair, or bed, I should say. It was just weird. He's always been that stand-up guy, strong, intelligent, very, kind and compassionate, and then to see him, I don't want to use the word helpless, but just kind of like incapacitated. Like he can do it, but it's like, he's going to need some help kind of thing.
Right.
And I get it, going through a surgery that's going to do that to you. But it was still, really strange to see.
Well, I mean, that's good that, he caught it early and, it didn't get worse. And,
Right.
He still has a wonderful life. He's still living.
Well, I got my mom right on my case about that. Like, you're going to have to, have a look at this when you get older.
Yeah,
genetics and everything
but
like
listen,
that. And that is a.
I'm waiting until I'm 50.
She's right.
Other than that, I don't give a fuck.
I do it at 45, dude. You don't.
Nah.
I mean.
Nah. Wait till 50. Listen, if it ain't hurting, I ain't getting it checked. I don't want to, I'm just saying, I don't want to know. That's just how I roll, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm just, I'm not just skipping
ride
down
it,
to go see the doctor. Let me go see the doctor.
I do.
Like, no.
I do now.
No.
I used to hold it in, man.
No.
Well, there is one that you may have to worry about a little bit.
Oh, what?
Is the testicular cancer.
Testicular
The big
cancer.
word. Yeah.
Yeah,
Ball
why is
cancer.
that?
It's the most common cancer in young American men. The average age of diagnosis, 33.
So don't tell me it's because masturbating a lot.
Well, that's good for your prostate.
Oh, that is good.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's good for your prostate. I mean, the testicular
Man.
cancer kind of thing, a lot of it is genetics. I don't really know all of the ins and outs. I'm not a doctor. I'm not
So
an
I'm actually
oncologist.
doing something that's good for my health.
It's good for your prostate, yeah.
Good for my prostate.
Yeah, let her rip.
Now I have an excuse.
You won't go blind.
Okay,
You
now
won't
I have
go
an
blind.
excuse now.
Yeah, you're fine.
See,
Chuck that chicken.
Okay.
Downtown Lester Brown, the low 5. Give it up. But there are some things to look for because I do, when I go to the doctor, last time even, I don't know, it's weird for some guys, but for me, I'm pretty open with it where, we're all finishing up with, we're taking all the vitals and everything like that. We talk through everything. How you feeling? How's this? How's that? I do kind of ask him to check me out down there. And they're like, okay, and I brought that up to Lexi too, because she was like, oh, you could put your feet in the stirrups. I'm like, no, it's not like that. You lay flat on the table.
Well, I demand.
And you take your.
I demand that.
You like the stirrups?
If I do go to the doctor's,
I thought you were a closet sub. You are coming out now.
I go
Look
straight stirrups, butt naked.
Ball gag.
Even if it's just
nipple clamps.
Whatever. There's something wrong with my knee. I'm just going straight, just getting ready.
Okay. But yeah, no, I lay flat on the table.
Yeah.
And, they put on gloves. You take your pants down and, they check you out.
Do you get a little, now, do you like get a little chub before?
No.
Well, hold on now. Hold on. Listen to me.
Trying to impress the doctor?
Right.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not excited in the doctor's office.
No,
you know how
but
cold the tables are?
but you think of something real quick to kind of get yourself laying nice.
No.
No?
No.
No? Man, I do.
Yeah.
I do. Regardless of who's checking my stuff.
I mean, afterwards, yeah, because now, I mean, regardless of how medical, the procedure is, someone is touching it and I'm looking straight up at the ceiling kind of thing. So then, like, I don't get full blown, but I know what's happening.
Right.
And then it's kind of like, hey, what's going on?
I'm not saying roll in there with a rager. I'm not saying, take a little blue pill and come in hard as hell. That's
They'll
not
be
what
like,
I'm
oh, that's the problem right there.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, you just want to be respectable. Like, you just want to, you just want to just
it's
be
not
like
a porn audition. It's going to the doctor.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, it's not like, you're whipping it out a lot. You just, so when you do.
It's one of the few places where you're allowed to whip it out in front of somebody.
But when you do, you just want it to look respectable. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I feel like you're using a universal you. It's not me. It might be you. It might be you. I really don't know. I can't speak on your behalf, but I just kind of,
No, listen, I'm just asking on, if you're doing it or not. That's all.
Because there are a few signs and symptoms to look for. Men in their 30s or late 20s. Obviously, a swelling of your testicle or sac.
Right.
That's kind of noticeable.
Yeah.
The pain, like you said, pain will get you in there.
Mm-hmm.
But painless lump in the testicle.
Oh,
right. You know what I mean? Like, it's not giving you an issue. It's not anything
but
like
you're
that.
feeling more than 2 balls.
Right. You got something going on. I had a hernia repair. It was an inguinal hernia, which means it's kind of like right in the groin sort of deal. And it did. It didn't hurt, but it looked like I had fucking 3 balls. But then all of a sudden, like, I'd get a sharp pain, and that's when the intestine has now shifted to come through the whatever rip in the abdominal wall that there's been.
Yeah.
Wow. But with that pain, it was pretty obvious to me that it was a hernia and not ball cancer.
Oh.
There's only a couple others. Scrotal heaviness, which I think is kind of interesting. Carrying a bowling ball between your legs, I don't know. Scrotal heaviness. Have
you seen those shows where it's literally like it's like a tumor or whatever, but the guy's nuts are like 500 pounds to the floor?
No, I've not seen
my God, dude.
The Elephant Man?
No, it's crazy. It's like dude, like, you can't even tell that they're peeing. Like, it's just massive. It's just on the fucking
just
floor.
A puddle just begins to form as if someone's wringing out a sponge.
It's like 600-pound life. You know how they're...
Okay,
but it's like a tumor. It's like a tumor something like that to where it...
Their enabler brings them a bucket of KFC and they're like, I don't know how this happened. No? Okay.
No. I'm not saying, like, the weight goes to your balls and there it goes. I'm not saying that, but there's something, I'm telling you guys, look it up. You can find it on YouTube or whatever.
I will look that up.
We can watch it
reluctantly.
We can watch it right after the show. I'll show you. But I forgot like what it is in particular. If it's like a tumor or even if it's
not a tumor.
Testicular cancer that's being untreated for it to be that enlarged, but it gets.
I feel like that's like elephantitis or whatever.
It could be that too.
Right.
I don't know. I'm just telling you what I see. And what
we'll
videos
check it out.
I saw.
Yeah, okay, we'll check it out though, but that's got to be uncomfortable. But yeah, scrotal heaviness, I don't know if to that degree, but apparently is one of the symptoms and signs. Shrinking of a testicle. That's got to be frightening.
Not penis, just testicles.
Yeah, shrinking of a testicle.
Yeah.
So I got to think it's just one, not both of them. Like one starts
when you're lopsided.
Get small, right?
Yeah.
I mean, one hangs low. The left one, I believe, hangs lower naturally, so that they don't. Right.
Yeah.
It's just a weird thing.
Yeah. And then when it's cold, it shrinks up a little bit. Yeah.
Enlargement or tenderness of the breasts. So if you're feeling kind of achy, painy.
Yeah.
Not heart attack pain, but like just the tissue kind of thing.
Yeah, I know I need to wear a bra. I understand that. So.
Lower back pain. Oh, some of these I feel are like WebMD answers. Like you probably have
lower back pain. Oh my God.
Groin ache pain and lower back pain are 3 of the signs and symptoms. I feel like that's a WebMD kind of thing. I got it from Factly.
Oh my God.
Med.com.
Listen, never look up anything on Google because you're gonna die.
Right, you should see your doctor.
I can't tell you how many times my mom would look up something like, if she saw like a weird spot on her arm, or she's got a cut, or it's a weird color, whatever.
Those are things though to look at. A different color, if it's raised,
I'm just making
shape.
Shit up. Anything that she looks at, she's gonna fucking die.
Okay.
And then
like a hypochondriac.
And then I do the same thing. If it's like I've never seen this rash before, oh my God, and then I look it up and I'm gonna die. I'm gonna lose a body part. It's crazy. I'm just telling you, it's crazy. So don't look it up.
Don't look it up.
Don't look it up.
Just ask your doctor.
Yes. Ask your doctor if it's severe.
They'll give you the thing.
Yeah, or just take pills, whatever.
But yeah, I mean that's a very common one in young men. So I mean, prostate thing aside, and feeling comfortable about that's further down the road, no big deal.
Yeah.
That's something. I mean, I'm 31. You are 28.
Yes.
So,
Damn,
I mean,
I thought you were 30. Shit, man.
I'm 31, bro.
God. Where's the time go? Jesus.
It's all relative.
It's like I just met you the other
Like
day.
Albert Einstein said.
Unbelievable.
It's all relative.
So when, okay, so your prostate is, you said 45?
45 to 50 years
And what
old,
do
you
you
should
have
kind
to-
of
and
get, I
what
mean,
do-
blood tests will be good for that. You know, I mean, obviously
So
you
you
can
don't
check the
have to-
prostate by going, you know, checking the oil kind of thing. But,
I thought that's how you, so, but they can also do it with blood.
yeah, blood test is
Okay.
another way of doing it by detecting
Well, I
an
thought they had
antigen.
to,
It
like, you
seems-
know, give you the booty juice and then, you know, stick a little rod up there. To
Right. Well, I
detect-
mean, if you think something's going on, like if you're having the difficulty urinating, like have you seen The Green Mile with Tom Hanks?
I seen, like, little clips of it.
Right. I'm pretty sure like that was something like he couldn't. You know, it was frequent urination, getting up in the middle of the night a lot. You know, painful urination, difficult to begin a stream, blood in the urine, those kinds of things, which of course is alarming. So then you go see the doctor, and then you get your oil checked.
The only thing I've seen, the only clip that I've seen of that movie is when, like, the mouse died and they picked it up, and then all of a sudden, like, a bunch of mosquitoes are coming out of his mouth.
Right.
And then I'm like, look, I don't know what kind of fucking movie this is, but I ain't watching it, so.
Oh, it was good.
There you go.
It was good.
There you go.
I teared up at the end. It was good. But of course, cancer aside, and I'm sure we've all, or you may not, but if you have, you know, had somebody affected by that in your family, it's always okay to talk about it and know some signs and symptoms of anything that you might be worried about concerning your own self. Which kind of moves on to the last mission in Movember, which is suicide prevention and men's mental health. Now, when I say men's mental health, don't get me wrong, if there are ladies, well, probably not, but if there are, we're going to look at it through a male lens, but you may recognize some of these behaviors or feelings in yourself, or maybe in a partner, your brother, cousin, what have you. So, you know, if you can take something away from it, that's awesome. You know, keep the conversations going, because we also need the ladies to talk to us too, so that we can talk.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's I will tell you this. We both struggle with mental health in our own ways. We've actually have helped each other along the way with some situations on that. But I will say, you know, it's really tough because there's an embarrassment side to it. You also have a judgment factor to it. You know, you don't want to say anything because you might feel judged or anything like that. I will say, though, at least maybe in like the last 10 years, it has been brought to light more. So, and there is more awareness of it.
The Stop the Stigma movement.
Right.
In general mental health.
Yeah, and you know, you see a lot of athletes and a lot of celebrities and things of that nature even talk about their own issues. And
they
things
take time away, too.
Right. And I think that is, you know, there's a lot of things that you can do. You know, you always got to take time for yourself, even if it's on a vacation, even if it's just a day, or you know, and I don't want to sound cliche over it, but you know, find something that you like, or a passion, or a hobby, something that you like to do. And just kind of do it, even if it's just an hour a day, or you know, a couple hours a week, whatever that is. So, you know, for instance, I love cars. That's just my shit. You know that, and I try my best. You know, not now because of the holiday season, but I do try my best to take some time out of the week to set aside to, you know, work on that, because that's, you know, that's where I clear my head, and you know, that's kind of
it's like meditation,
right? Not
the
just
frontal
that.
lobe has got a mundane task, and the rest of the mind can wander.
Right, and for you, you know, it could be cooking, playing guitar,
Absolutely.
even when you're doing your workouts. Things
That's a big one.
Things of that nature.
Well, you know, that's easier said than done for me sometimes.
Right.
I've had people do that. You know, well, just go do something you like. Well, that's the problem right now with me, is I don't like anything. I have zero interest in the things that I used to love. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to. I just everyone go away. Like I'm gonna just shell up and that's it. You're not getting in, kind of thing, because I don't know what's wrong with me, especially when everything's going right. Like it's easy to say something bad happened, like your team lost this weekend. Let's say your football team lost this weekend. You're a diehard fan, and they lost, and you are just miserable about it. That's exogenous. That's not coming from in here. That's something that happened that is, that's making you feel that kind of a way. The tricky part of the depression is when everything's going great. You're on the up and up. You've got, all your ducks in a row. Why am I feeling this way?
Right.
That happened to me in February. Things were going great with work, financially stable. Beautiful girlfriend, just started dating her. Mm-hmm. I was living high on the hog.
Yeah, I was there. Yeah, I know.
It came out of nowhere like a freight train.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uncontrollable tears. No clue.
Right.
Couldn't catch my breath. It comes on for me like a full-blown panic attack at first.
Yeah.
And then it settles into this deep depression that will last for a week and a half, 2 weeks time. And some people I'm sure go on for longer.
Oh.
My mother has her struggles more with anxiety than depression.
Yeah.
But I was diagnosed at 20 years old with major depressive disorder, which now is called clinical depression.
Yeah.
Which always makes me think of George Carlin's bit on soft language, calling something, in the 40s it was called shell shock, and now it's called post-traumatic stress disorder. It's so much nicer. And maybe if we kept calling it shell shock, some of those vets would have gotten the attention it deserved. Same thing. But it did scare me at first. Calling it major depressive disorder, I'm like, oh my God, something's wrong with my brain. I need pills. I felt like a freak. Guess what? If you have to take medication, if you have a chemical imbalance, you're not insane. You're not insane. You're not a weirdo. You're not nuts. It happens. Think about all the people that may throughout history before we understood this and had us, before a Stop the Stigma movement and talks about mental health, either committed suicide, drank themselves to death. Nobody ever knew. And no one could figure out why this person's the way they are. They just lobotomize them. Just go, something's wrong. Bang, bang. Go sit in the corner now. Yeah. They're calm. I don't know what was up with that guy, but they're cool now. It's kind of scary to think, and I'm very fortunate that I am existing in a time where it's a lot more open, which comes into the point of Movember, because men still have a difficult time sharing the emotions, being vulnerable, showing yourself a little bit. That's that weaker side, if you want to call it that. It's not weakness. It's really strength to talk about that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
As difficult as it could be.
Yeah, I mean, I will say first, you should see a doctor and for medication. We do both take medication for that, but it's not a cure.
No. It's not a high either.
It just keeps your shit together enough to where you don't want to jump off the bridge.
Yeah.
That's it. But it's a constant fight every single day. I have it. My mom has it. My mom has depression and anxiety. I have the same thing, and you know it as well as anybody else does. But it's a constant fight. Every day you just have to fight it. And
I'm actually quite comfortable with it at this point. It's sort of like
I'm fighting.
Sort of like my shadow.
Yeah, I'm fighting with it every day. I'm fighting with
darkness, my old friend.
But
shit, you again.
But I think it's okay for to take a day or a couple days, whatever. If you just want to be alone and just whatever, like that's perfectly okay. And I think you gotta at least have at least your parents, if you're with your parent, at least have them on the same page. So, if you do ever feel like you want to be alone or whatever, they give you that space. And I think it helps to really just have a really good friend to talk to who won't judge you, because, like with family members, you're going to, there's that stigma. Not saying that they will, but there's that stigma that they will judge you.
Let me tell you this story real quick. Like, let's see if this doesn't end in a fight about a detail, not the ultimate synopsis of what I just said, but a little details. Just, you did what?
Yeah. So, I definitely think that helped. Therapy, that's not for everybody, but that is a source. But
I don't do well with therapy. For me, therapy is for people that have more money than problems.
Yeah,
I can sit here and talk to you. I talk to the cat. I talk to myself. I'll go for a walk. And then I go see my doctor, and they'll be like, well, maybe you need to talk about, what the ongoing thing sort of deal.
Yeah.
But you know what? I talk to my dad. I use that resource instead.
Because it's more genuine.
Right. Because my mom...
He's not getting paid to listen to your problems. And
then,
he
actually cares.
And then again, he's just telling you, whatever, and it's easier said than done.
With him, there's still a feeling of doctor-patient confidentiality, if you want to call it that.
Right.
He's not going to go... Guess what we talked about, kind of. I'm sure he's going to talk with my mom about those sorts of things, and she's not offended to the fact that I wanted to speak with him, because she suffers from the anxiety. She knows what to do. She's been a nurse for over 30 years, and she goes into mama mode. Like it's protect. But unfortunately, when I do speak with her about those things, she likes to tell me what I want to hear, or just naturally ends up telling me what I want to hear. And that's not always what I need.
Right.
My dad is going to give me his fresh perspective, because he doesn't suffer from any of this. So he's somebody that has no idea what I'm going through, but he's going to take the time and have the patience to listen and then ask questions, probe a little deeper, try and empathize, put himself in that situation, offer little bits of advice. And one that really did stick with me, not the whole doing a hobby and everything like that, because that was my issue, like I said earlier, is I don't want any of this. Nothing's fun for me anymore. Like the things I loved, just don't do it for me right now. And with him, it's kind of like, try to make a connection. If you ever feel like you want to retreat, just force yourself, if you can. He'll follow it up with an if you can. He's not saying you gotta do this, kind of, just try it. And even like when I was a little kid and I didn't want to eat some food, he'd call me Sam I Am, my green eggs and ham. Just try it.
Right.
Just try it. Same thing here. And you know what? It worked for me. Put myself out there a little bit more.
I think there's a good balance. Like you would want a perspective of somebody who doesn't deal with it, but you also kind of want somebody that knows exactly how you're feeling as well.
Well, that's where you come into play for sure.
Right.
With me.
So, and everybody's different. Me and my mom, we tell each other everything. So that's kind of like our therapy. But
I would love to sit on one of those sessions.
It's very intense.
Yeah.
I mean, you can, but it's gonna have to be, off camera,
like
off
a riot
mic.
shield.
It's gonna, dude. It's some shit, man. Let me tell you. But I will say it's still what I've came to term with is, the medicine isn't the cure. It's not. So it has to come.
It's a pacifier.
It's got to come from you.
Yeah.
So, don't beat yourself up if you took a day and slept all. There's days where I just sleep for 10, 18 hours a day.
It's a play on the word, depressed, deep rest.
Right. So
you need to relax.
But you can't beat yourself up over it. Like you just have to move on. From that day. Like you can't just dwell on that, and just set little small goals for yourself, even if it's one thing.
Yeah.
Just
taking a shower.
Just to get into that habit
of, hey, a walk. I don't care what it is. Right. Yeah, I don't care. Just do it and pat yourself on the back.
Yeah. So
I ate something. I know that sounds insane. It sounds crazy, right? Oh, you ate something. Congratulations. Right. Yeah, that's what my brain did too. And then when I did, I was like, okay, I did the thing. Even the little things. It's a struggle, like you said, that you fight through to continue gaining that momentum back.
But just think about this. You have work, so that does help. That gives you a reason to get you out of the house and, for at least...
Forcibly.
Right, but at least for 8 to 10 hours, you're
interacting.
you're doing shit.
Yeah. And
and unfortunately, there are, especially nowadays, there's people who don't have a job right now. So imagine just sitting at home, literally doing nothing. You have no purpose, nowhere to go.
I'll start climbing the walls.
Right. So and that's even more. But I think then in that aspect, then that's when you can really take to what are things that you like and set aside a little time for that. Whatever it is. But
I mean, do you have a coping mechanism? I'm sure you have good and bad. So let's try and give me your good coping mechanism. What do you do that you think is a positive thing? You mentioned working on your car.
Yeah.
What else do you do that you would say that you do that's a positive coping mechanism for you?
So honestly, for me, it's really just because, I have like different hobbies, not just cars, but
sure.
I just take time for myself. Like, I always make sure to leave time for myself during the day. Whether it's an
relaxation
hour or
time,
2 hours, right? No, just my time of whatever that
Will's
is,
time.
and that time I could, if it's just a Netflix and chill, if it's just play video games or car stuff.
It's just insert activity here.
Right, whatever it is, and then also just to have at least, maybe not every week, but every once in a while, just have a day with friends, just to get out of the house and just do shit. You know what I mean? I mean, I think we
especially
all,
after being cooped up for so long and not seeing a lot of people for a while.
right, and so that helps too. And I'm not saying you have to go out and do shit, but even if it's just you go over to their house and you do shit over there. I mean, so,
Do you have any bad, like negative? You would say.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
What is like the negative coping mechanism?
Food.
Stress eating.
Food. Yeah.
I
If
love
I'm
food.
really anxious or whatever, I'll
Something
just
to make
say,
you feel full because you felt empty.
well, first, like if I feel real anxious, I'll say fuck it. Just like fuck whatever I was supposed to do or going to do. Fuck it. And then I'm eating the worst food possible.
What's your go-to when you're that bad?
Oh my god, dude, okay.
Oh man.
I mean, listen, I have, and this is gonna be sad.
All right.
And this is gonna be sad, but I have went to a buffet, Chinese buffet, by myself.
Hell yeah.
Just
I do that.
eating some plates, man.
That's stuff I do when I'm happy.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I mean, yeah, mostly Chinese is really my go-to. But
not typically like a fast food chain or anything like that, or just pizza.
I mean, I used to be. I
vanilla ice cream.
Yeah. No, I mean, there was a time where I was really into fast food. I think it probably ended like in the beginning of like when me and you first started like being friends and all that shit. I mean, I used to hit fast food 3 times a day.
Yeah.
Like each meal was a different fast food,
Okay.
But and I'm not on a diet, that. I'm just changing my lifestyle and
Oh, you cut out bread. I'm like,
not just that, but just
can't live without bread.
no. Listen, I will eat bread.
That'll make me depressed if I don't get bread.
Listen, I will eat bread every once in a while.
I am a duck, and ducks shouldn't have
I will eat
bread.
bread once in a while. I'm not saying no to bread, but I'm just
Bad example.
I'm just cutting it down. But I don't eat fast food. I really don't. I mean, it's been quite a while. So yeah, I mean, even if I do feel,
I feel like it's a fairly common one.
yeah,
Stress
if I do feel like, even if I stress eat, like I'm not going to a fast food place because I just haven't been there so long that I wouldn't even go there. Plus, I feel like I get more bang for my buck at a buffet.
Oh, definitely.
And then you also get dessert too. So what about you? What is there anything different, good or bad that you do, or is you kind of
Taking my dad's advice and basically forcing myself to put myself out there, whether it's talking to you, opening up to Lexi because she, even if she doesn't get literally what I'm feeling, she does her best to understand that like it's not like if I want to be left alone or things like that, it's not because I don't care about you or anything like that. I just don't want anybody around.
Right.
It's not nothing with you specifically kind of thing.
Right.
And she's been wonderful every step of the way.
But
yeah,
but in the beginning it was rough.
It was hard.
And not just that, but I mean,
I was weary of everyone and everything.
Right,
I was
and
just
I
like,
even
I was paranoid.
And this is how he knew he had a great friend in me, because I even had to come in. I had to come in, like
Let's cue the Randy Newman.
And not just to help you, but also for her to help her, give her more detail of like what's going on, because she doesn't deal with that, because it's not every
Hers
single
is anxiety,
right, but depression, it's not everybody's.
Yeah, it's like the cousin
like,
of anxiety.
Right,
they kind of
right. You have your sad days, but then there's depression where
right.
It doesn't matter. You can have millions of dollars, but you're still gonna feel like fucking shit or whatever. That's the issue.
That was what I was talking about earlier. When everything is going great, you're on the up and up. What the fuck do you have to be so blue about?
So,
you don't understand why.
And it helps that you have, people that understand what you're going through, family, friends, people who just care about you. So
working. I mean, and not going to work. That's not really one that makes me happy, to be honest with you. That doesn't work for me, but working out definitely helps.
Right.
Gets the blood pumping, feel a little bit better about myself, feeling a little bit more active. It really helps energize me, actually. I know a lot of people think it's going to be the opposite. I'm so whooped from that. I'm like, I'm awake now.
Yeah.
I feel a lot more clear. That works for me. It's playing guitar. I know you mentioned that earlier. That definitely works for me. Music, listening, and I don't listen to sad songs when I'm sad. I know a lot, and you might do that. You like that. Right. Some people really they want to just bask in it. Like, let me just sit in this filth and just.
Right.
No, I want to. Even if I'm sad, I want to listen to just good tempo music, upbeat
music, right.
Happy songs, oldies. It really gets me back into sort of like. Because then I start dancing. Next thing I know, it's like you're moving again.
And not just that, but
let's cook.
But some
get
songs,
in the kitchen. All right, no, it's a snowball effect, and I don't have to tuck and roll. I let it hit me, and I'm like, here we go.
Yeah, but not only that, but some songs can trigger, in a good way, like positive things that like happened in your life.
Oh, like a memory.
Right.
Oh, I own even the ones that don't. There are plenty of songs that remind me of either a person in my life that isn't there anymore, or a bad thing that happened. And knowing that I'm still here and I'm at where I am now, I'm like, I'll crank it. This is my song now.
Right.
This is mine. It's not going to remind me of that.
And I will say another...
Or not remind me of that, not make me feel bad.
Another thing is that no matter how anxious, how depressed you are, anything like that, it's not the end of the world. It will get better. You just have to put the work in. But it can always be worse.
Oh,
and I know that's so cliche, but it can really be a lot worse. So and I think, but
that's why I used to whine about it with my doctor when I used to tell him about that, and he goes, "Well, we need to. I'm going to try and put you on a mild antidepressant and this and that." And I was like, "Come on, man." It's life. Yeah. It's uncomfortable, like, and it's shitty and all those other things. And I mean, I take a pill just to okay, now it's all better. Like, that ain't gonna work, man. Like, give me something. Give me something. Like, give me something, but give me something.
Yeah. But you've seen though when you were on it, and then you seen what happened when you got off of it. What happened?
I made the one mistake of
I'm
I'm
good.
fine.
Right.
Yeah, I don't need this anymore because I still had that feeling
Right.
of just like I need to take a pill. I'm a fucking
Right.
legalized drug
But
addict.
then
Like,
you felt good, so you're like, I don't need to take this shit anymore.
and then it reared its ugly head.
And then we had that situation. You know, what was it, January, February, around there?
February.
Right. Then that's when shit got real.
Yeah.
So, but listen, I've done that multiple times, and you know, I had my mom call me out and like, you know, you're you know, not only are you being a dick, but you know, your anger's out of control. You're just flipping out.
It starts with me too. The anger is the
over
first thing that comes out.
smallest little things.
Yeah.
You're just out of control, like, and then, you know, that's when you gotta dial it back in. So even if you are taking medicine right now and you may feel fantastic or whatever, do not stop taking it, and don't feel embarrassed that you know, there's a lot of people that have to fucking take it. You know, look, I mean, I'm not saying you have to go around and tell everybody your personal, you know, issues.
Right.
And
We're
all,
doing it. We're
and
just
all
saying
that other shit.
if there's someone that you can confide in, or even a thing, man. Like I said, I'll talk to the cat a lot. I know a lot of people have pets. Talk to the dog. Hug your pet. That's therapeutic.
I will.
That's why we have them. I'm not talking emotional support animals. Every animal make you feel good. No one, right? You know, if I came home and Oliver just crippled my self-esteem, I don't think I'd have him around. You know what I mean? Like, I have him because he's cute and he's good. You know this stuff. I'm not taking him everywhere I go.
Yeah. I will say this. You know,
some people do need them, and it's a little obnoxious. I think that we bring animals everywhere, and it creates a bad thing for those that really need it.
Well, they should not be in grocery stores or airplanes.
That's more along the lines of what I was doing. Like those, like in downtown St. Pete where they got the puppy bars and everything.
Right.
That's fine. Yeah. Everybody's out. We're having a good time.
Right.
They got bowls, they got treats, everything like that. That's fine. That's not where I'm going.
Right.
But yeah, there are certain places where it's just like, really, dude, like you're okay.
So I will. I kind of want to end on a little bit of a somewhat positive note. You know, that we do have people that are watching us that do know us personally. That has also worked with us. One of the things I just, and you know, I'm not going to go too personal, but I will say one of the things of why, you know, people wonder why we gel so well and we get along so well and we're so close, you know, why we're so close. It's pretty much that, you know, when, for both of us, when we needed, you know, a friend, when we needed help, you know, we were there for each other. You know, I was there for him, on multiple scenarios, and even with his girlfriend too. And you were there for me as well. So, you know, we've experienced some things together. We both know, you know, what the other is feeling, because, you know, we deal pretty much with the same shit.
I can see your face. You can read my face too. It's
right.
Even if it's a blank stare, you're just kind of like
right. So and that helps. So you know, we just have that comfort with each other that, you know, that's why we just have like that such.
I'm very fortunate to have that too, because not everybody does.
Yeah, and it's sad. I mean, you know. I mean, we can look at, you know, girlfriend, for example. She doesn't have the best of friends, you know, and we see.
Not down here. Not down here. I mean, there's some good ones, but I would say, you know, most of the life in Ohio, so that's
so right, and we can
really
see, and we see how
so that's hard for her.
Yeah, so, you know, not everybody's fortunate with that. So, but I'm, you know, very fortunate, and you know, both of our.
She's got us though.
Both of our.
She's like, oh, I'm fucked then.
No. I mean, listen, me and her are close.
Oh yeah, you guys had girl talk after the chip. Man.
Yeah, both of our families like each other and are very supportive and everything. So it's a very good vibe and very good mix. So, you know, there is deeper stuff that, you know, we have gone through stuff together as friends, especially, you know, fellow ex-coworkers that used to work with us. You know, there was a lot of stuff behind the scenes, but, you know, at the end of the day, you know, that's how we, you know, got through depression and anxiety, and and
We got through a patch, I'm sure.
So
my shadow will come back.
So it's
just don't let it take over. That's all.
And it's hard to really find a good friend, but you have to keep trying. But just be careful. Just like with who you date, just be careful of with friends who you let in. Who you let into your feelings and all that stuff.
Yeah. It can backfire. I mean, that kind of goes with anyone, really. I mean, that could backfire.
So,
but that is a good point that you bring up, and and I hope that you were able to take something away from this. Like I had said earlier, if there are any women watching and they recognize some of those behaviors in themselves, not alone either. I know we're talking about Movember, because it is a pretty serious thing with guys not talking about it. Globally, on average, one man dies by suicide every minute of every day. I know that's heavy. I'm laying it on thick. Sorry. But when you stop this video and you see how long it was, think about how many people you lose just there.
Real quick, do you have the suicide prevention hotline? Do you have that on
I do. National Suicide Prevention Hotline is 800 number, of course. 1-800-273-8255.
You're never alone.
No.
Just know that.
Because in the U.S., approximately 4 out of 5 suicides are men as well. So, and you just gotta try to fight through it if you can. I will end it also with something I thought was quite beautiful by Diana Alejandria.
Who?
She's a writer, Diana Alejandria.
Who the fuck is that?
It's a writer. Okay, it doesn't matter. I'm giving the credit.
A writer.
It's a writer. I'm giving the credit where the
credit's due. Does it look like I fucking write, dude? Like I know all these writers.
This is therapy, though. I love it.
Jesus,
I love it.
Mark Twain, and that's about J.K. Rowling. That's really it, dude. Other than that, I don't fucking know an writer.
All right. If you're dealing with a lot, think about this. I know it's difficult. The heaviness you carry inside and the inner battles that no one sees. The smiles you force to cover how you truly feel. The tears you hold back when someone asks if you're okay. I know we must be strong. There are times we need to come undone. You need to be naked and vulnerable. Let the weights of our emotions flow. Let them be heard. We're not meant to carry all of it alone. So please, see that there's hope around you. Find the connections that make you feel alive, cared for, and valued. Do not drown yourself in limiting beliefs. I know it's easier said than done, but you have come a long way. If you were to look back right now, I know you'd recognize your own strength. I see you, I feel you, I understand you.
Beautiful. Beautiful. If anybody wants to reach out to us, you can always comment below. Our email is in the description if you want to write us a personal email.
I'll listen.
Yeah, we'll both both listen. It's okay. So yeah, don't be afraid to reach out, and listen. It just what you said was beautiful, and don't give up, and you just got to keep fighting every day.
And if there are any mustaches that you can think of that weren't listed here.
Yeah,
let me know.
Send us that too.
Hell yeah.
Send us that too. All right, guys.
Take care.
Take care.